What's going on, my friends? Dustin Stelzer with Journey to Master. Womp. So I figured I would do an episode on me. A lot of you have been watching me for quite a while, either on Journey to Master channel or my Electrician U channel. And I'm going into my 4th year. Yeah, this is year 4 of doing this. Holy shit. So I figured I'd at least talk about who I am, give you all a little bit of insight into the stuff that you might not know about me. I don't know. So, oh, shit. Where do you start with something like that? I guess I was born in Wisconsin. I'm a Yank. Lived there till I was 12. Lived out in the country, so Wisconsin's like snow, farm towns, and bars everywhere, and little towns. So I grew up. I had dirt bikes, had go-karts and four-wheelers and all kinds of stuff like that. Just all the country kids did. And we went sledding and snowboarding, and so that was a big part of my life. Like riding things, I did BMX when I was a kid. I skateboarded, mountain biking, like all of that stuff. Anything that had wheels or tracks, it was something that I did. I grew up ice fishing, and a lot of people, I moved down here to Texas, and people are like, "What? You actually drive a fucking truck out on a lake on the ice, and then you dig a hole in it?" So that was my childhood. Did a lot of fishing with my dad. Not a lot. Wish I would have done a lot more. But fishing and hunting were a big part of my childhood. Up there, everybody hunts. There's just so much deer everywhere, and so many hunters. Hunting is such a big thing. I really don't give a shit about hunting as an adult anymore. I don't know. I've hunted enough. I've killed things. I've gutted animals and pulled their entrails out of their bodies and chopped them up and eaten them. I just don't care about it, really. I've done it. And I think where I'm at in life now, I just have a healthy respect for life. So I don't know. I mean, I'll probably hunt again. Like if I needed to hunt, if I needed food for myself or my family, I would definitely hunt. But hunting down in Texas is really commercialized. Everybody's going for whatever heads they can hang on walls, and I just don't give a shit about that. I'm never going to decorate my house with a dead head of an animal, so I don't hunt anymore. But again, I don't knock anybody that does. I know a lot of people that love bow hunting and deer hunting. There's a challenge to it. Part of the reason when I grew up, we drove the woods up in Wisconsin. There's snow everywhere. It's cold. You get a big team of people together. You form a hunt with a plan. You drive the woods. You have people stationed strategically out in fields at the edges of woods, up on hills, and you get a team of people that drive through the woods. That's hunting. That is actually hunting. And I got down here to Texas, and everybody has feeders, and they're all timed, and people don't even live on the land. They go out and fill these feeders every once in a while, and they have little alarms that go off, and it sprays corn out on the ground. And so these fucking deer are trained. It's like fishing for deer. It's not hunting, in my opinion. I know there's gonna be hateful comments. Fuck off. I don't care. Sitting in a blind for 2 hours and waiting for an alarm to go off for these things just to walk out and kill them in mass. It just doesn't feel like hunting, man. It takes the sport out of it. It takes the fun out of it. So I stopped enjoying hunting. Still like fishing. Don't do enough of it because I don't have a boat. I don't like fishing from shore as much as I like fishing from a boat. Plus, I like wakeboarding. So I kind of it's almost like a stick in the mud thing. I don't have a wakeboarding boat, so I'm not going to fish either. But yeah, so extreme sports, stuff like that. I love wakeboarding, snowboarding, skateboarding, boarding. What else? Grew up, both my parents worked a lot. Don't know who my actual biological father is, which there's some drama in my psyche about that. I think any of you that are in the same boat understand that. So there's always been this kind of need or wondering should I give a shit about that? Is there like some fucking weird blood disease that I'm gonna die from when I'm 40 because I don't know? So I've always kind of wanted to just go figure out who that guy is. But then the other side of it is like, fuck, if I meet the dude, like, do I really even want to go there? Shit, you know, like I have a guy that raised me, my stepdad, who only now in my 30s am I starting to actually get to know. So I've been kind of a dadless creature upon this earth, and I've always been looking for, you know, parent approval, father approval. My mom was always a very, very busy person, so I don't feel like I got much attention. So from her, I seek attention, though her and I are really close. Like, she's a wonderful woman, amazing person, but both of them work 2 fucking jobs all the time. So I feel like I raised myself. I spent a lot of time in my room doing art, drawing things, watching, I would have watched Rick and Morty back in the day if that were a thing, but Ninja Turtles, I don't know, shit like that. So I was into the Nintendo generation when the original like OG Nintendo came out. I was born in '85, so that whole late '80s, early '90s transition of Nintendo and Mortal Kombat and all that, that's totally me. That's why I wear this. I'm still stuck to my roots. There's some childishness that I will refuse to let go of. There's never going to be a day where my kid's going to be like, yo, you want to watch Ninja Turtles? And I'm going to be like, fuck no, that stuff's childish. I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, cue it up, boy. So that's me. I've drawn a lot. I don't know if any of you have like seen anything. Like all the end screens and the ends of these things are things that I've drawn, which I've been trying to incorporate more. Actually, I haven't been trying at all. I try with very minimal effort to incorporate. I think I should probably just start like putting more of my art out there, because I got some pretty cool shit. I got a really weird style, I think, that's kind of unique. Maybe not unique anymore. It seems like the whole line art thing everybody's doing now. Always been a big music head, so I love music. Again, like I would draw and I'd be alone in my room a lot, and so having music on just kind of helped me keep focused on what I was doing, and some of the messaging may have influenced, you know, behaviors and directions that I've grown, sure. But I had like weird tastes in music when I was young, because I didn't have any buddies that were like into music or anything. So like whatever was on the radio that the bus driver would play on our way to school, like that was it. So there was a lot of like Smashing Pumpkins, the Rembrandts, Coolio. I think Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise was like my first album. So I'm a hip hop head. I always have been. What else? Like the Cranberries. My dad was really into Rush and Boston, so like that influence I got. He was never into like Zeppelin and like Pink Floyd. I don't think he was like more the psychedelic type. He was more like the like AC/DC concerts, fast car kind of type, the hair band 80s. My mom was into all kinds of weird music when aerobics was a big thing, and scrunchy socks. So like Ace of Base, ABBA, who sings Crimson and Clover, Heart, or no, that's Joan Jett. I don't know. So like some weird, all over kind of influences. I had an NSYNC CD, had a Michael Jackson tape. They got eaten in a cassette player, and I was so fucking pissed about it, because that was my favorite tape. I was probably like 6 or 7. That was my jam, Michael Jackson. And then I kind of evolved my taste. Like once I went out to college, I started to meet people and like hear what they were listening to, and so Three Doors Down and like Foo Fighters and Incubus and 311, smoking a lot of weed, you know, so like my music kind of curtailed to that activity for anybody that was doing that. Whatever they were listening to was kind of what I listened to, and the messaging behind it and everything too. I realized that music has a huge fucking huge influence on you. And my mom used to tell me that when I was younger, because I would listen to Slipknot, you know, when I was 16, skateboarding. I had like a Linkin Park CD and Slipknot, Korn, Marilyn Manson. Like I started to get heavy into that kind of shit too. Disturbed. Yet I still listen to shit like Creed. I don't know, man. Again, I was all over. I didn't have anybody telling me what to listen to. I was just like, oh, I kind of like that. That's cool. I might be able to play that on the guitar. Oh yeah, I can play it on the guitar. Cool. I like that song. I was a drummer, been a drummer my whole life, but I gave up on it. One of the most regretful decisions I've ever made was in high school to stop drumming to chase after a girl, and used religion and a thing that this girl was going to as my way of justifying not missing out on it. So I gave up on band. Really stupid. Senior year too, drumming had always been the thing that I was the best at. And so like for a bunch of years, I just gave up on it completely. And I was like, fuck that. Like pushed it down and gave up on it. And then it slowly started coming back, and I'd buy a drum set and have it for a few years. And then something would happen and I'd have to sell the fucking drum set, stop drumming for a few more years, get another drum set again. So drumming has always just been there, been a part of my life. Really good hand speed. Like I was on the snare line and I took the shit seriously. Like went to drum corps, DCI stuff. And I was like, I wanted to be that, but I gave up too early. But I was really good. And what else? Something about drumming that I really liked was the fact that I could sit and practice something at home and be bad at it. But the more I pushed through it and slowed everything down and started doing the rudiments and like getting it at a slow speed and then clicking that metronome up a little bit, speeding it up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then getting that muscle memory, you could actually see within a 15-minute period of time an improvement in your skill, and so that you're actually good by the end of that at something that you weren't good at before. Sometimes it took longer. There's some things that took you like days to get really good at, but it was almost like, fuck, this is an individual thing. I don't have to worry about the group. I do once I learn the music, but like the skill is something that I can individually get better at. And as I'm practicing, seeing myself getting better. Whereas I think something like martial arts might take you a little while, a little bit longer. I don't know. That's something I've always been interested in too, and have done. What else? So graduated high school, went to college, went to Arizona State to fly planes. They have a program out there with what used to be Mesa Airlines, maybe still is, I don't know. But you could actually learn how to fly planes. And so I did that for a couple of years. Very expensive thing to do. I always wanted to be a pilot. I thought like Top Gun was my shit. All the planes that I had, all the Legos, everything. I was always building planes. So I thought that's what I wanted to do. And I ended up joining the military at the time, thinking that maybe I could be like a jet pilot, be a fighter pilot, because I was going to college for flying planes, that maybe I could get into like naval aviation school better or something. I don't know. I think the uniform had more to do with it. Like the Marines have a really cool fucking uniform, and I think that's what got me. But it was definitely not like, I'm going to go save my country and be a hero. It had nothing to do with that. My mom was fucking pissed when she found out I was going into the military. It was like right after 9/11. 9/11, I was in 11th grade. Yeah. Oh, that was 01. So 03. No, I was in 10th grade. I graduated in 03. But then 04 or I think I joined the military in 05. Like went to college, was on this great track, and then all of a sudden joined the Marines and got a girl pregnant and found out I was going to be a dad. All of that happened right at the same time. So like moving away from my folks, realizing I was going to be a dad, being completely broke, down and out. Some other things happened that like really fucked me up mentally. But a lot of things just happened at one time. And I was in the military all of a sudden, in the Marines. So I very quickly decided, because I didn't have a dad, I don't know my dad. I have a stepdad. That's a disrespectful thing for me to say. There's a good man that has paid bills and kept a roof over my head that I appreciate all of that for. But I've never had a close father. I've never had somebody that's like, that wants to help me grow as a human and like spends a lot of time with me and developing a character and all of that stuff. Like a close relationship with a father that definitely cares about me and wants to be in my life. So I was like, okay, well, I'm a father now. Fuck. Like, I want something different. I want to be in this kid's life, and this is the only fucking thing that matters. Like, I don't give a shit about the military anymore. I don't give a shit about college. I don't give a shit about anything. But that little boy, like, that's That's what's most important to me. And so I decided, like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do because I have this obligation now to be in the military. But I went reserves so I could spend time at home and be with my kid, and not be full blown going force recon, like going to SEER school and being a super badass like career Marine. And I have complete respect for those. Like all y'all, homie, I do. It just became all of a sudden very like violently apparent in my life that I did not give a shit about that anymore. So I chose to just get out. I didn't take the military seriously anymore. I did whatever I had to do to get through it and get out and just get on about my life. Do you hear that music? Next door, there is a, you can't see, I don't know why I put the camera over there, the dance studio right there. Fuck, dude, all day, every day. I can't record, ever. I can't ever record without music. So some of the shit you guys hear, like weird noises and stuff, it's either the studio or it's fucking delivery trucks backing up and down this thing. There's like 300 different trades in all the buildings around me. There's AC companies, HVAC companies, just fucking trucks all the time. So I need to get a spot. I need to get like a place out in the country. I'm trying, man. Just to get a plot of land with, I don't know, like 10, 15 acres on it and build a studio out on that. So it's out in the middle of fuck all nowhere and somewhere that I can live and do that. The other problem is I'm not going to have like really fast internet if I do that, or I'd have to pay a lot of money to do it. Fuck it, whatever. I'm trying to get that to happen because this sucks, dude. Fuck, this sucks. Anyways, okay, so where was I? Military. Got out of the military. Was not with the mother of my son. That was a pretty treacherous experience to go through, slinging mud at each other and trying to prove in the court system that the other person was a shitbag human being and all of that. And then it took, probably 10 years after that for her and I to actually start seeing eye to eye and become friends and trust each other. And now we actually have a good relationship, which is great. We've always focused on just like whatever's in the best interest of the kid. And that's it. The only things we ever talked about, the only things we ever saw each other at or went to or anything was always what is in the best interest of this kid right now. What school should he go to? Blah, 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 blah. We gave a shit enough about him that we were able to put our shit aside, which is really good. For career stuff, I've worked in a lot of restaurants. I did some clean room construction, worked in an Intel fab where they make all their chips. So I had like wear bunny suits and like vacuum and cut stuff with sawzalls and everything. But it was all like clean room construction. So you couldn't make messes. You couldn't let particulates fly in the air or it would ruin like millions of dollars worth of shit. That was pretty cool. My dad had always done like handyman work. He'd always, tile doors, windows, fucking redid roofs, shingles, anything you could think of. So I would go with him on a lot of these things just randomly, and I got a lot of exposure to working out in the field and being in the construction realm. So I naturally kind of had that in the background, but never took it seriously, really. I always wanted to be a millionaire at the age of like 21. So I've been hustling since hustling's been hustling since I've been young. Had a kid immediately. Dude, I was 18, off in college, about to turn 19, and boom, you're going to be a dad. So I've always had to work 2-3 jobs. I feel like I'm the hardest working person I know. Definitely the most ambitious, because I've had to be. I got to keep food on the table. I got to keep a house over, my head. But in the midst of that, I went to jail several times, for dumb shit, like for driving on an expired license and then not being able to afford to have my insurance or registration or anything, like barely being able to fill up fucking gas because I'm a single dad paying child support and trying to have my own place and food and all of that stuff on an apprentice wage was very, very tough for a number of years. And so I just kept driving. I told the judge, like, you can take my license away. I'm going to keep fucking driving. I got to get to work. I'm an electrician. I have tools and shit. I can't take a bus and then go walk a fucking half mile to my shop. I'm going to keep driving. So y'all are just going to have to keep fucking arresting me. because I got my license suspended for having that happen a number of times. And so then I got pulled over more and went to jail more. Same shit. There was one time I got arrested that I had 8 warrants. 8! How the fuck do you have 8 warrants? How does that even happen? But I was like in Texas, and I left to go to college in Arizona. I guess there was just a bunch of tickets. It was like, I think 2 stops where I got 3 tickets for each stop. And I was like, oh yeah, those problems, they'll just go away. No, they don't just go away. And it had been years, like 5 fucking years. And I came back and I got pulled over one night. Just coming home, I had like restaurant shit on. I smelled like fucking food and alcohol. I think I was bartending or something. I don't know. They thought I was driving drunk and all this shit. And then found out I had 8 warrants. And I asked him, I was like, is there any way you can just give me a warning? Can I like call in and pay? I'll call right now and pay. And he's like, no, dude, you have 8 fucking warrants. You're going to jail. So all my jail experience has been really stupid, just bad decision making and procrastination and putting things off. So I've had to learn the hard way that putting things off has a huge cost. What else? Being that I'm an only child, I've always kind of thought that I'm the center of my universe and that everybody should curtail their lives to me and what I want. I know that about myself. It's not as big of a problem anymore. It's still, it's still there in some ways. Like, I have really high expectations of people. I want people to follow through with things that they say they're going to do, and not gaff shit off and not half-ass and not, not show up when they say they're going to fucking show up. That means a whole lot to me. And a person's character and what they've been through, I tend to hang out with people of struggle, people that have had really terrible shit happen in their lives, because there's a quality in character and the realization that they had to get out of the problems and had to suffer. And so I just tend to hang out with people like that, because they don't just sit and talk about the sports and fucking CNN and the weather and Donald Trump and fucking Hillary Clinton or whoever, Bernie. I just don't, none of that shit matters. There's no depth to any of it. It's all just surface level shit. So I find that like people of struggle have to go through so much that they have very profound perspectives on life and things to learn from. And those are the kind of people I like to hang around. But I do have a little bit of a high expectation of them, which is why I don't have a lot of friends. I keep a very small circle around me. I'm trying to change that. Trying to change what influences I have in my life and who I'm around. But that's me. I'm an island. I always have been. I always feel like if I don't do something, it's not going to get done. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done right. So it's very difficult for me to allow other people to do things for me. I don't ask for help. I don't ask for money. I don't, like, when people offer me money or give me a compliment, I'm like, shut the fuck up. When people call me like a rock star because they see YouTube and my YouTube shit's doing well, they're like, oh dude, you're gonna be famous. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, that irritates me more than anything on the planet. I hate it. And I know they're just trying to compliment me and be sweet, but I'm not anybody special, and it fucking irritates me when people think that I am. I'm just a dude. I'm no different. If there's like a guy walking around that like came in here and just walked behind me and like dropped a package off and left, I'm the same as that guy. If that guy turned a camera on and talked to it, only difference, I'm just a fucking dude. I'm nobody special. I'm nobody important. And when people give me compliments and make me feel greater than, oh my God, I have such a hard time with it. I know that's a flaw. I know that's a flaw with myself. I heard a quote recently that's like, if you can congratulate yourself, it's a sign of maturity. But if you can't, if you're constantly seeking congratulations from other people, that's a sign of immaturity. And I'm like, fuck, okay, well, like, that's profound. I don't congratulate myself. I always think that nothing's ever good enough that I do, and I have to try harder, and I see the mistakes in everything I do. All my artwork, I'm like, it's fucking terrible. I hate it. And like, most people are like, dude, this is dope. Like, this is really good. And I just think everything I do is not good enough. And that's something probably my whole life I will do. I'm a very confident person. I'm a very dominant fucking person. Like, I see what I want, I go get it, I do it, and I don't fucking stop until I get it. So there's a level of confidence I have, but it's also like, there's also a level of like shit in my head that's like old programming that I'm trying to release. A lot of my behaviors lately have been just to program myself to be a completely different person, like the fucking apex version of myself. So I spent a lot of time in that. I did a video a while ago saying like what I was doing, kind of, and I told y'all I would give you my schedule. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to create a video right after this, actually, so it shows you like what I'm doing for my mental game and how I kind of program my days, because it's working, dude. It's working really well. My perspective, things are going really great. There's still some shit in my life that's fucked. You know, there always is. There's always going to be struggle, but that's the shit that builds the beauty. So anyways, that's a lot about me. That's what, 25 minutes worth of shit about me. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to have put y'all through that. See, I told you, I'm really not an interesting person. Nobody special. I'm just a fucking dude. But I like helping people, and I like sharing stuff with people, and I like people sharing shit with me. So thanks for listening. Thanks for giving a shit all these years. Just hit 100,000 subscribers on Electrician U, and that is fucking crazy. That's really fucking crazy. I just never even expected that to be a thing. So now I got to work on Journey to Master to get it up to. No, I really don't give a shit about that. I don't care about sub count. It's cool to see, but it literally means nothing to me. I don't sit and follow all my analytics and think, how can I get more subscribers? How can I get more people to thumbs up? And like, I just don't fucking care, man. If you like something I'm saying and it means something to you, cool. That's what it's here for. I listen to enough of these things from like wiser people, Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and all these fuckers, that it's like, I just want to do it back in case it helps somebody change their life or whatever. I don't fucking know. Some kind of gratification, I suppose, of pride and ego. I'm sure there's a lot of that in there. Anyways, enough. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.